All right, let's get started. So what are the 5 marketing metrics that actually matter? There are a lot, but if you're sort of starting out, if you're sort of under 3 mil per annum, this is specifically directed at Australian businesses. So these are the 5 sort of metrics that matter. So let's go through them. So cost per lead. I'm going to explain each one in a minute. Second one is lead to sale conversion rate, average sale value, customer source tracking, and marketing ROI. Okay, so let's go to the first one. So first one is cost per lead. So what is that? So number of leads divided by the cost to generate them. So I have an example here. So let's say you get 100 calls per month or 100 form submissions per month, right? By the way, if you're running an e-commerce business, these metrics are quite easy to track. But if you're like running a service business, and this can be a little bit tricky to calculate, but about 95% of the time you can get to it. So, okay, if you get 100 calls per month, and then let's say you're running Google Ads, and plus you paying someone to do the Google Ads, digital marketing agency or something like that. And the cost there is, let's say, $3,000, $3,000. And 3,000 divided by 100 is $30, if my math is correct. Yes. So now you have the cost per lead, right? Every call is a lead. Every form submission, email is a lead. Now it's costing you, in this example, it's costing you $30. Now, why this is important to track? Obviously, if you're selling a particular product or services and the actual selling price is below, let's say you're selling this product for $20, and before you even, think about profit and taking out costs and things like that, this is already costing you $30. So this is why if it's costing you more than to generate a lead that you actually selling price, then you have a problem, right? So obviously in digital marketing, you need to identify the problems, or you need to identify if the marketing campaign is working or not. So this is one of the key metrics, cost per lead. All right. So let's go to the next one. So next one is lead to sale conversion rate. How do you get that? I mean, this is a formula, number of sales divided by number of leads, and then you get a percentage, right? Okay, let's look at an example. So you get 100 calls, 100 calls per month, and you actually convert 10 of these. So you get 10 sales per month. So the lead to sale conversion rate now is 10%. Okay, now it's easy to sort of figure out the lead to sale conversion rate. So, but is it a good rate or not? Okay, let's go to the next slide. Now, how do we know? Like, let's say your lead to conversion rate is 10%, 15%, 20%. How do we know it's a good rate? Yeah. So one thing you can do, let's go to ChatGPT and you can ask GPT. Let's say I'm a builder in Australia. What should be my lead to sale conversion rate, right? Dig up industry standards based on my industry, right? So what's now GPT is gonna look for this data online, right? And what the data shows, so I couldn't find a lot of recent public data, right? Okay. So about 1.9, right? and so there's a sort of mixed data in here. Lower than many industry, about 17% of leads are moving to MQL status. I don't know what that is. So PO construction, so 15 to 60 range. Lead to, there you go. So lead to appointment rate is 50-60. That's not what we want. We want to appointment to sale rate is something about 18-20, but we want lead to sale rate, right? So anyway, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you get the idea. So you can get a fair, okay, say if you get 100 leads in, ideally you want to aim about 5 to 10 sales in realistic baseline. If your system is excellent, you might push for more, right? So you can see based on your, like this is actually less than 10%. So based on your industry, your number is going to be different. Like some industry is going to be higher or lower. So you need to find that out first and then compare yours with this formula. But obviously, get your rate and then compare it. Okay, lead to sale conversion rate. Okay, what's the next one? Average sale value. Makes sense? So what is average sales value? Again, revenue divided by number of sales. So if it's an e-commerce, it can be customers, but in this example, I'm assuming one customer is buying once. That's not, that's not the case most of the time. So customers might not be the correct number to use here, number of sales maybe, right? Again, depending on what you're doing. Okay, let's look at examples. So let's say we did 10,000 sales and out of 100 orders, right? So again, what's the average sales value? 10,000 divided by 100, you get 1,000, 1 grand, right? So each sale is generating 1,000. Or each customer, if that's one customer is doing one sale. Like if it's like a construction business, if it's like a big B2B service, AI marketing, digital marketing, things like that, maybe one customer is doing one sale, right? So depending on what you're doing. Now, why this is important, like average sale value. Actually, I forgot to mention something in this one here, lead to sale conversion rate, right? So we sort of went through the construction industry, and if it's let's say 1% or even below 1%, let's say, once you've done the calculation, now you have a sales problem. You don't have a marketing problem. You have a sales problem because you are getting the leads, but you can't convert them to actual sales. So either your value proposition, what you're trying to sell, is not connecting with the audience or the customers that coming through, or you might be charging, or your price might not be working. So you need to talk to this, or if you're doing sales, then you need to think about what's happening. Again, you can do a little bit of research using AI, but if it's really low, then when you're first starting out, I mean, it's going to be quite low. But you've been in the game for a few years, and if it's still low, then you have a sales problem more than a marketing problem, right? All right. Okay, let's go back to average sales value. So again, average sale value is sort of a number. So what do we do with this? So we can always increase average sale value, right? Doing these things. You can upsell. Like you can bundle offer, meaning like you can combine a few different offers and again, this sort of things make sense if you're selling online like a product. Sometimes if for certain services, this makes sense as well. If you're in digital marketing, for example, this is something that I do. You bundle like search engine optimization and Google Ads and maybe website optimization, and then you can create a bundle offer. So you discounted each sort of package, but when the client buys it, they get a good deal, but you also get a good deal because the average the sale value increases. And the third point is you can also, if the average sale value is very low, then you might be not charging enough, or you could try a different price point and therefore break your customers to different segments. So that's also something that you can try doing. All right, the next one, customer source tracking. So where are your customers finding you, right? The simple thing to do is you can ask your customers if you have the option. If you're like, again, e-commerce, then you don't have to do this because with e-commerce, you can set up quite accurate data tracking. You don't have to, even with the B2B service business, you can do this, but you need to know how to do it, obviously. So let me give you an example here. This is a client of mine. This is a jewelry business. What I'm looking at is something called Google Analytics, if you're familiar with it. And I'm on traffic acquisition chart here. If this doesn't make sense to you if you haven't seen this, you can you probably do a Google search on how to set up Google Analytics, or GA4 this is called. So in here I can see, so organic search, when people go and do Google, like put the keywords onto the Google search bar, and paid search is Google Ads currently. So you can see there's a number of people. I'm looking at last 28 days. So about half of them finding us using organic search, meaning because we are doing SEO or search engine optimization for this client, and we are also doing Google Ads, paid ads. So this is actually it's actually exactly, no, it's very close. So 50-50. So that's good. Okay, so this is how the customers are finding the website, but what are they doing on the website? So there's a column called key events. These needs to be set up prior to this. Again, using Google Tag Manager. I mean, it's a bit of a technical setup. I'm not going to go through that. But we are tracking how many people are asking for Google Maps directions, how many people are actually clicking the phone number, and the website has different sort of widgets to get, again, direction, because this is a physical store. So based on, I know it doesn't make sense to you, but I set this up so I know which this button or this button means. And based on that, we can, let me just isolate this for maps direction. So you can see, let's go back. Okay, currently 0. So basically anyway, I'm just going a little bit too deep into this. So you can see each action and what is the source. So this is SEO. By the way, you can have a combination of that source as well. But anyway, yeah. So once you set this up, you can really get into this. That's what I'm getting at. And if your Google Ads connected to Google Analytics properly, then you can even dig down to the correct campaign. So based on this, you can also do more fine-tuning. Anyway, so that's a little bit too much information, but let me come back to it. So you need to set this up in order to get that data, right? But this is very important because if you're, let's say, again, going back to this, let me just go to default channel group. So if you're finding a lot of your best clients are actually coming from paid activities rather than SEO, then you might want to move some of that budget to paid ads because that's generating most of your clients, right? That's why this is important. All right, let's go to the next one. I think this is the last one. Yes, marketing ROI. So what's your return on investment or the marketing investment? That's pretty much what this is. So how do you get this? New revenue from new customers divided by marketing spend and then you get marketing ROI, but as sort of a ratio. And then you can, if you want, you can multiply this by 100 to get like a percentage. So usually speaking, again, this can be different to different industries. 3-to-1 ratio is sort of is regarded as healthy. So what that means? You spend $1 on your marketing, and then you're getting $3 back, which is not too bad, right? So even 1-to-2 it's pretty good. 1-to-1 meaning you're breaking even. This is also, again, very good depending on where you are. Like if you're starting out, this is going to be minus. Basically, you're going to spend more on marketing and you're going to get less. But over time, this is going to change to 1-to-1, meaning now you're breaking even. So at least you're now recovering your marketing cost, which is good, but it's not really helping you grow at this stage. But if you're sort of 12 months into your marketing activities, and if you're seeing a low number here, specifically if it's like even lower than 1-to-1 ratio, then you have a problem with marketing, right? If it's higher like this, then it's really good. You can keep, that means your marketing is somewhat optimized, so you can keep optimizing it or keep as is to have this ratio, right? All right, let's do a quick recap. Let's go back to the slides. So basically, again, these are the 5 metrics that sort of matters. There's lots, a lot of marketing people would talk about a lot of CTRs, CPCs and all of these numbers. All of that matters, by the way, but these are the top sort of 5 metrics that sort of matters. So cost per lead, how much your lead is costing, lead to sale conversion rate, how many leads are you getting and how many you're converting, right? If this is low, you have a sales problem. Average sale value, this is just a number that you can calculate and you can always increase this. Customer source tracking, you need proper tracking to understand this, but you need to understand which sort of channel is generating you the most revenue long term. And finally, the marketing ROI, right? All right, I hope that was helpful.